Hello and welcome back to this week's video. For those of you that haven't been here before, my name is Tracy Mayhew and I'm the author of several contemporary romances and YA fantasy. This week's video is a video that I've been wanting to do for ages. If you follow me on Instagram, it's not a secret that I suffer with migraine. So trying to balance writing and teaching with migraine can mostly be a challenge. Over the years, I've developed a migraine toolkit, as I call it, that helps support me when I feel an attack coming on or when I feel some of the symptoms are getting too much to handle. So this video is all about how I manage my migraine with the tools that are at my disposal. And I'm hoping that some of these tools will also help you if you find yourself suffering with migraine or any type of headache. To be fair, this doesn't just apply to migraine, it can apply to sinus headache, tension headaches, cluster headaches, anything like that. Before I get into the video and before I explain what's in my toolkit, I would just like to say that I'm not a medical professional, I'm not a doctor, I don't have any medical qualifications, so this is not medical advice that I am giving you. If you believe you suffer from migraine or if you have problems with headaches that occur regularly, please go and see your medical professional or healthcare practitioner, as they will be best placed to advise you and to prescribe you any tablets or supplements. Nothing that I'm going to talk about today is about medication or supplements. It's just things I've found over the years that you can take that are non-medicated. Okay, so hopefully, fingers crossed, you will find something that helps you. That's the aim of this video. So without further ado, let's get into the video. So what is a migraine? Migraine in its simplest term can be described as a severe throbbing pain down one side of your head. Now, it's not always as simple as that, because every person experiences migraine differently, and even one person can experience each attack differently. So for me, personally, one time I might get a throbbing pain in the left side of my head, but my next attack might be the pain is in my right side. So it's not necessarily a given that if your pain is mostly in your left, it will never be in your right, because as I say, it varies. Migraines triggered by many different things. So some migraines can be triggered by sound, some can be triggered by light, food, lack of sleep, lack of water, stress. They're all major factors, major triggers for migraine attacks. And there are many more as well. It's far too many for me to mention in this one video. Some of my migraine triggers include stress. Light can trigger me, sunlight in particular. So in hot weather, I get migraines then, I can get attacks then in the summer, which is why I'm not really a summer person. Sound can also trigger me. If a classroom is particularly loud, sometimes I can end up with a migraine at the end of the day. Also, like looking at a computer screen. As writers, we spend a lot of time in front of a computer, and if we don't take adequate breaks, then we will end up suffering for that, and sometimes that can bring on headaches, migraine, etc. So yeah, what I would suggest that if you're finding you have recurring attacks, is that you keep a food diary, see if you can identify any triggers that's in your diet that you could maybe stop or eat more of to help curb attacks, and also keep a symptom diary as well as symptom tracker, because there are so many symptoms. Some of my symptoms include brain fog, stiff jaw, tension in my neck, at the back of my neck, and some of the things I'm going to talk about in my migraine toolkit today are going to help you with some of the symptoms that I've just mentioned. So yeah, keep watching and hopefully you will find something in this bag of tricks of mine that may help you. And anything that I mention in this video, where I can, I will leave links in the description box below, so that if you want to pick up anything or if you want to explore anything further, then just follow the links that I leave down below, and hopefully you'll find something to help you manage your symptoms. So this is it. This is a peek into my migraine toolbox. So these are the sunglasses that I tend to use. I've tried many pairs of sunglasses, prescription sunglasses, mostly, because obviously I wear glasses. However, I always found with prescription glasses that, for me personally, they never wrapped around to the side of my face, because with prescription glasses, they're just like normal glasses, and the light creeps in from the side, which was always a problem for me, particularly when I drove a car. So when I inquired about, can I have prescription sunglasses that essentially wrapped around my existing glasses, or just wrapped around so that I could just take off these and put them on, apparently they can't make the glass that way if it's prescription. So I had to find an alternative, and I found these. These are called over glasses. So literally, they're quite big when you put them on. They kind of take up most of your face, but they are a godsend because they block out all of the light around the side of my face. So if I turn that way, you can see how much light they actually block out. And I'm telling you that in the summer, and even on those bright winter days when the sun is quite bright, the sun is out, these are invaluable. I take them everywhere with me. They are quite hard to get into a box, I will admit, because they're quite big, they're quite chunky. But I have found a box that I've been able to use, which is fantastic. Mostly now, if you go on Amazon to buy some of these, they come with boxes. So hopefully you will find that in the link below if you are interested in purchasing some of these. But I would highly recommend purchasing some sort of sunglasses that block out the light, because, as I say, they have been invaluable to me over the last, 5 or 6 years. And before that, I really, really struggled in the sunlight. So yeah, sunglasses. The next 3 things in my toolkit are water, exercise and sleep. I can't explain how important these 3 things are anyway for optimal health, but they are especially important if you suffer from migraine and headaches. So the first one, water. So important to stay hydrated, and it's recommended that we drink about just over 1 litre of water a day. However, I know for a fact that if I don't drink about 4 of these, which would equal about 2 litres, I will invariably end up with a migraine, because that's how much water I need to drink. Again, this is something that will vary from person to person, so you will have to research, you will have to see what works for you. But I know that I need to drink about 2 litres of water a day, and most of the time I do. There are some days that is difficult, however, and those days I do find myself experiencing more symptoms. So the following day I just try and drink far more water than I did the previous day. Exercise is important because it's a stress reliever. It's a great stress reliever. Getting outside, getting some fresh air, vitamin D, all of that stuff helps to release the endorphins, which will make your brain happier, basically. The only thing that I've read that warns you against exercising is if you are having an attack, which I don't know many people who would have a migraine attack and then decide we're going to go to the gym. And exercise doesn't have to be at the gym. It can be just as simple as walking, doing something like yoga or Pilates at home. So you don't need a fancy membership to be able to exercise. If you have a dog, fantastic. Walk your dog once a day for half an hour, and that should be more than enough. And the last one in this section, sleep. Now, sleep. We don't get enough sleep. I'm pretty sure of that. I know I don't. But I have found ways to help me help support my sleep. One of those being a sleep mask. I've had this for about 6 years now, and it's cost me £1. Can you believe it? I love it, and I always put it on. It goes everywhere with me. Even when I'm going away on holiday, I take this with me because I don't think I can sleep without it now. It really helps to block out any light that might be coming in from the window or from the hallway if you're living with people. And also when you're in an attack, when you're having an attack, and it's difficult sometimes to block out the light completely, these are fantastic. So again, please invest if you can in one of these. They are invaluable. Another thing that I find that helps with sleep are earplugs, because as I said before, some of us are sensitive to sound, especially during a migraine attack. So I find that just popping a pair of these in my ears, and you can pick these up at anywhere where they do things for holidays. I got these in a pharmacy and they weren't very expensive. Pop them in and they are They just mute so much sound. And if you've got any like noise cancelling headphones or earbuds that you could put in, they'd be perfect as well. So you wouldn't need these necessarily. I sometimes put these in at school as well. Like if the not during lessons, obviously, but at lunchtime, if my classroom's near the playground and there's a lot of noise coming from the playground, I put them in and it just mutes that down, and I can just sit and sort of be quiet for a few minutes. So yeah, earplugs, sleep mask, they will help with your sleep if you find sleep difficult. So let's move on to the next item. I'm not going to say much about this one just because there's nothing I can say about these Instagram accounts that they can't say better for themselves. So a couple of years ago, I discovered two accounts in particular, one called the Migraine Dietitian and the other called Life with Migraine. And they post regularly about their experience with migraine and medical advice about migraine as well. So they are the Migraine Dietitian is a qualified dietitian, so any advice she gives, she does know what she's talking about, and they will help you with managing your migraine and things like that, and understanding it better. And even they even give advice about helping you to help others in your life understand migraine better. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave their links below, and I really implore you to check them out. If you do nothing else from this video, check these guys out because you will not regret it. So the next thing on my item in my toolkit is this little guy. It is an AccuLeaf acupressure clip, and basically all you do is you choose a hand, and it will become apparent the more you use it which hand is your preference, but for me it's my left hand. So it just clips onto my left hand, and it uses acupressure at the base of my thumb and at the back, on top of my thumb, on the back of the hand and the front of the hand, to relieve the headache, the pain that you would experience in a migraine attack or a headache. And apparently on their website you can use it for things like toothache as well. So it might be worth, if you do get one of these, trying it for different types of pain that you may experience. Basically, you can keep that on all day. There's no pain, there's no medication, there's no pills that you need to take. You can just go about your day as normal. I've driven in this, I've done some typing in this, I've taught a class in this all day, and it just sits there. It's on pretty tight, so you can use your hand as normal and it won't fall off. So yeah, I won't say that it completely gets rid of the pain, but it does relieve it enough so that you can function. And sometimes that's all we need, is to just be able to get ourselves through the day so that we can get home and then collapse into bed or something. So what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to leave a link down below to the AccuLeaf website so that you can have a look at a more detailed description about how this works. You can look at other products they sell as well if you're interested in that. You can also get these on Amazon. And they come in different colours as well. When I bought this, it was either black or green, but now you can get blue, pink, and all kinds of different colours. So if you do decide to purchase one and you do try one of these out, please let me know in the comments how you found it. The next item in my toolkit is a must-have, white tiger balm. I don't know if you've ever seen this before. You can get a red tiger balm, which is a balm you would put on to sore and aching muscles, and it warms it from this, warms your skin up and warms the area where you've rubbed it into your leg or your arm or wherever. This one, the white tiger balm, has a cooling effect on your skin. So wherever you put it, your skin will cool right down, and you'll feel really icy on wherever you've put it. I tend to put it on the back of my neck because, as I mentioned earlier, I get a lot of tension in my neck. Even when I'm not experiencing a migraine, I hold a lot of stress in my neck. So this comes everywhere with me, and it literally is just a balm that you would put on. You don't need much either. This is the great thing. You don't need much, and then you'd rub it into your neck or wherever you're going to put it. You can also put it onto your temples as well, and that really helps to sort of like cool down this area of your head when you're having a migraine attack. So I would recommend that as well. But it's non-greasy. I don't find that it affects my hair. It doesn't make my hair greasy at all. And I'm very particular about my hair. So if it did make my hair greasy, I probably wouldn't use it. But no, this is really, really good, and it smells absolutely lovely. And you only need to give it a couple of seconds, like 5 or 10 seconds, and then all of a sudden you will start to feel your skin just cooling right down. And when you're experiencing the early onset of a migraine or pain there, I find it really helps. And this really helps if you're experiencing that sort of tension in your neck at night time. Put some of this on, because it helps to relax those muscles, and then you'll find that invariably I tend to be able to fall asleep a lot easier after I've done that. So I'm going to leave a link on so you can get some of this on Amazon. You can, if you're in the UK, I don't know about other countries, but in the UK you can pick this up relatively cheaply at supermarkets, Boots, Superdrug, any pharmacy really. And it is really accessible in the UK. But if you can also get it on Amazon. So if it's not available in your country, hopefully you will be able to find it on there. So I'm going to leave a link to that below again, and hopefully if you'll be able to find some relief using that as well. Next item on my list are essential oils. I love essential oils. I find them very useful in all aspects of my life, and I will be doing a video on how useful I find essential oils and what I use essential oils for. But for this video, let's just keep it centered around migraine and how they help with my migraine. So I have a aromatherapy oil diffuser, which basically you fill it up with water, and then you add the essential oils to it. You switch it on and it diffuses the essential oils throughout the room that you are sitting in. Some essential oil, that is really good way of using essential oils, because it disperses everywhere. It's not too strong either. It's a really subtle smell, unless you put loads in, which I wouldn't recommend. But the two essential oils that I use mainly for migraine are lavender and peppermint. Okay, so lavender is really good at easing and relaxing you and making you bringing on sleep and things like that. Peppermint is really good for easing nausea. So if nausea is one of your symptoms of migraine, then peppermint is definitely something you need to have on hand, because it does help to give you that fresh smell that helps combat that nauseous feeling. Now, I know that essential oils is not for everyone, and if you don't want to buy 2 or 3 bottles of various oils that help with your migraine, that's absolutely fine. You can get pre-mixed oils. This one is called Migraine, and it literally is lavender and peppermint already mixed for you. So you'd only need to buy this, add a few drops to your diffuser, and then that will just set it up to go, and then that will diffuse the smell throughout the room, which work really well if you don't want all the essential oils, like you don't want to store loads of essential oils anywhere. That's fine. So I would recommend the pre-mixed option. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave a link to that, to the Migraine underneath, so that if you are interested in that and trying that out, then you know where to find it. Now, it's not always you don't always have a migraine attack at home, so you're going to need something for on the go. And for that, I use this roller ball. So it's called Total De-Stress. And it literally is a roller ball that's already been mixed. And you just, when you feel the symptoms coming on, or if you're feeling a little bit, brain fog setting in or something like that, I would just rub it onto my pulse points like that. So I rub it on my wrists, on my neck there. And then I would also rub it onto my temples, and it's really discreet. You don't need to, it's not an obvious thing that you're doing. No, you can do it quite discreetly in the toilet, for instance, if you needed to, in the corner of a room or something. So I would always recommend having something like that in your bag, just so that if you do get an attack when you're out and about, you've got a solution, or you've got something that will help you. And I usually find that plus the white tiger balm really helps to ease my symptoms. So the last item on my list in my toolkit is my secret weapon, if you will, and it is the Halos Ice Cap. This is brilliant. There is no other words to describe it. I would recommend this to everyone, and in fact I pretty much have recommended it to several people now. So it's basically a gel cap that's very durable, very flexible, and what happens is when you are experiencing a migraine attack, you you store it in the freezer basically, and then when you are experiencing a migraine attack, you take it out. I wouldn't recommend putting it on straight away, only because it's, for me personally, it's too cold and it gives you like that brain freeze headache or that brain freeze feeling that you get when you eat too much ice cream. So I don't do that. So I leave it for about 5 or 10 minutes until it sort of warms up a little bit. And then when you're ready, after that 10 minutes, you put it on your head, like so. And it goes all the way down to your nose, all the way down here, touches your neck here, and it right from the top of your head as well, and it just covers you up completely. It blocks all the light, so that's a bonus. You can also adjust it. While I've got it on, I'll just do that. So you can also adjust it so that it covers slightly more of your head, your neck, sorry, as well, because as I mentioned before, I get a lot of tension in my neck, so being able to do that is really helpful for me. And that stays cold for about, obviously it warms up, but that stays relatively cold for about half an hour. I actually have 2 of these because they're relatively cheap for what they are, and for the value I would put on them, they are quite cheap. So I've got 2 of these now, so that when one is not in use and one's back in the freezer cooling down, I can use the other one if I'm having a particularly terrible attack. And they're brilliant for at night, because if you can't sleep because the pain is just too intense and you can't sleep, they're really good for just putting on your head. And also, if you don't want to put them on your head, you can actually just use them as a pillow. So I would put mine on the top of my pillow sometimes and just use it, especially if you've got the pain located on a particular side of your head. You can just put it there, and you can literally, as soon as you've put that on, you can literally feel all of that tension just sort of like fade away and just relax. And it's a godsend. I would highly recommend getting one of those. I am definitely going to be leaving a link for the hay loss underneath in the description box. So please check that out if you feel so inclined. They're also pretty good for sinus headaches. And I've had in the last couple of years, I've had a few colds where I haven't been able to sleep because I can't sleep because of sinus pain, and I put that on and it eases that pain completely. So it's not just for migraine. Don't think it's just for migraine, because it isn't. It's very versatile, and I would recommend having that at home for just about anyone really, but particularly if you've got a migraine. There you go, my migraine toolkit. I only hope that you find something useful in this video, even if it's just checking out those Instagram accounts that I mentioned, which are well worth looking at, by the way. All the links I've mentioned in this video are going to be found in the description box below, and I'm also going to leave you a bonus link to the Migraine Trust website, which is an invaluable resource for anyone suffering with migraine. So don't forget to check that out as well. So until next week, when I will be back with a new video, don't forget to like and subscribe and share if you found this video particularly useful and you think this will help somebody. Please share it, and I will see you next week, as I say, with a brand new video. So until then, goodbye.